told you, Alberta's jobs numbers reveal more than employment. They're telling a story about who's moving ahead and who might be left behind. The headlines look strong, but the reality on the ground is more complicated, especially here in Calgary. According to Stats Canada, in June, Alberta added 30,000 jobs. Calgary contributed about 5,500 of those, and the city's unemployment rate dipped slightly from 7.8% to 7.4%. But there's a catch. Nationally, Canada added 83,000 jobs last month, but 70,000 of them were part-time. That means the majority of the growth was in roles that don't provide consistent hours or income. Even here in Alberta, where full-time growth was stronger than average, part-time employment played a big role in those numbers. And with inflation still elevated, especially for rent, groceries, and transportation, a single part-time job doesn't cut it. Many people are juggling 2 or more jobs just to keep up. We're also seeing the impact on younger workers. In Alberta, youth unemployment remains one of the highest in the country. For those aged 15 to 24, the rate was 16.4% in June, only slightly down from 17.2% in April and May. That's well above the national average, and it means Gen Z is having a harder time breaking into the workforce, even as job numbers are on the rise. There are also a lot of younger people in post-secondary for jobs that could be eliminated by AI, but more on that to come. And while some industries are adding jobs, others are losing them permanently. Autobotics, a Calgary-based robotics and automation company, has officially shut down operations after filing for bankruptcy protection and laying off all of its 200 employees. Once seen as a tech success story, the company is now closed for good. Even in a city like Calgary, where economic growth is happening, tech and innovation sectors remain vulnerable, especially when companies depend on outside investment or long runway development cycles. For workers, the recovery isn't guaranteed, and for some, it's already over. I touched on this briefly, but looking further out, there is another force already reshaping the job market, which is artificial intelligence. Across Canada, about 60% of jobs have some exposure to AI automation, and around 4.2 million jobs, about 31% of the workforce, are considered highly vulnerable. Clerical jobs, data entry, routine financial processing, these are among the first in line to be automated. And while AI will likely create some new roles, it's also going to force a major shift in how we work, what skills matter, and which industries grow or contract. That's not a conversation for 5 years from now, it's already starting. This context matters when we talk about housing. Yes, job growth supports housing demand, but only when those jobs are secure and sustainable. Right now, much of the growth is part-time. While inflation remains high, that doesn't build the same kind of confidence we'd normally associate with economic expansion. So what does all this job growth mean for Calgary's housing market? Right now, we're seeing signs of a market that's adjusting. Prices have pulled back slightly compared to last year, not dramatically, but enough to mark a shift from the rapid growth we saw in 2022 to early 2024. There are more listings, more inventory, and buyers have a bit more breathing room than they did just even a few months ago. But that doesn't mean demand has disappeared. As I said, employment is rising, especially in full-time roles. There's some, and Calgary continues to attract people from across the country. That foundational demand is still there. It's just unfolding in a more balanced environment. If you want the full breakdown of what's happening in the numbers, sales, prices, inventory, all that jazz, check out my latest Calgary market update video. I go through it all there. On the surface, Alberta's job market numbers look impressive, but there is so much more to the story. Part-time jobs are doing the heavy lifting, younger workers are being left behind, inflation is still eroding buying power, and technology is already changing what work looks like. So yes, people are working, but that doesn't always mean they're thriving. We may not control the market, but we do control how we respond to it, and that response is changing everything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.